Warning, this video talks about and shows imagery of graphic content like, oh, let's back that up. I completely dropped that ball. Gore, flashing lights, violence, death. Viewer discretion is advised. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized viewing of this footage. Any reproduction, distribution, or display of this video is prohibited. The possession of this footage may lead into investigation and detention. If released from custody, the apprehended will face a penalty of $500,000. Ooh, I don't know if we should be watching this, right, guys?
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself.
Okay, looks like little...
That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life.
Cute.
First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are, and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth?
Probably.
Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity?
Who knows?
From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of
They look like
nowhere.
little fleas.
We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home.
Don't they
What
look
these
like little
creatures
fleas?
are is
You know what I
mysterious
mean?
and still not well known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble
notice that in the
animals with no
background what we
skin
know?
or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnis. The Carnis species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnis relatives.
All right,
The
they're
Carnis
cannibals.
only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the Carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi. A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients
That's
absorbed from its
interesting,
surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis, the dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl
All right,
as
so
well.
it seems like it's good for the environment.
The
right?
presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage.
Okay.
Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. Been sustainably cultivated.
Back that up.
Humanity
Just
also
happened
uses
there.
the
I don't know
crawl
if
to
y'all
our
saw that.
advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth.
Okay. All right. Looks like it just blipped.
And its richness in.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if y'all saw that. I saw something.
The supernatural rate of growth.
Come on. Here, we're gonna go back because I think we might have missed something here. Let's see. Where's it at? We're gonna go real freaking slow. Playback speed 25. Let's see if we can.
Because of the supernatural rate
Let's see
of
what we got
growth.
here. Oh, yep. I missed it. Let's try it one more time.
Rate of growth.
Y'all see that? We're gonna try it one more time. See if we can catch it.
And nutrients.
No. Sorry, guys. I really don't want to miss any of the hidden stuff either.
Rate of growth.
I saw a paper that said the crawl. Did y'all see that? Let's go back right there.
Rate of growth.
I saw that. I saw it. I don't know what it said, but it was a paper about the crawl. We're going to try one more time here.
Supernatural rate of growth.
I missed it. Well, last time I promise.
This richness and nutrients.
All right.
And its richness and nutrients.
We're going to go to 29.
The supernatural rate of growth.
Here. It's less than a second. I'm not going to bore you guys with this, but there was a newspaper in there that said crawl, and I couldn't get it to stop on it.
And its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal.
Okay.
This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings.
Oh. There's something else in there. Hang on.
Trimmings.
There it is. It looked like a biblical story or something in there, like kind of a flash. I like how they're doing that. All right, we're on the Living Meat Research Institute documentary 2, The Trimmings. Same warning as before.
The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics. One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball. Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly, it is a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened. Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators. Naturally, its population would eventually die out. This is not the case.
Again, we got that blip in
The
there.
crawl
We're
population
gonna...
would eventually die out. This is not the case.
I couldn't read it that time.
The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl. Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests.
Oh, look at that. Look at the work on this. God, look at that. Okay. What a good job. Who is Vontae?
And making excessive noise at night. Besides all of this, some
Aw, look at him. He's such a cute lump of flesh.
people still keep trimmings as pets and relatively domesticate them. Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
All right, the meat snake. Documentary 3.
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of
Sorry, I'm just
decaying
checking on
meat,
something with the stream
notifying
here.
the meat snake that there is food
We're going to go
nearby.
ahead and go back a little
at
bit on
meters.
this one. 5 to
Although,
16 feet.
under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract, and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted.
All right, seems
Speaking of
pretty
skulls,
simple.
the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed. During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed.
Huh, that's not creepy or
A
anything,
meat
right?
snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease, due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat
Oh, look
snake
at
is
that.
the only member of the Carnis family that is
Look at that. God, this guy did such a good job on some of these photos.
able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms. Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses
Sexicide.
available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes. Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals.
Okay.
They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame. Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience
The
to
artwork
encounter
is
one,
amazing
as
on this,
long as you
guys.
don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic.
All right. Chapter 4, The Mimics. Same warning, viewer discretion is advised.
The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped.
Well, that's
Then
not
while the mimic
terrifying.
contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat, and swallowing chunks whole.
Okay.
A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Human flesh, I think you said.
Because of this, they are found solely around human
Hold
populated
on. What was
areas.
that?
Entirely of human
Pause.
flesh. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Hold on.
Entirely of human flesh.
I hear something, I just
Because
can't
of
quite
this, they
make
are
it out.
found solely around human populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4
wow.
appendages. In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans. It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture. Once a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute it immediately.
What is...
Begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal.
Statutory mimic found outside of town, presumably digesting last night's meal. Okay.
Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering.
Hold on.
Digest its meal. Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle.
Oh god, I thought that was my window.
Mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves. A mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering
Oh
themselves.
god, I thought that was my actual window.
Once a human is in place, it will
Holy
swiftly
crap.
attack and kill the helpless
That was
partners
good.
awake. A
Oh, right
mimic
here.
will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill
That
the
was
helpless
good.
target.
All right, what we got here? Okay, looks like some found footage, maybe? Oh, that knock though got me. All right, sounds like a lady. She's running from maybe a mimic? Hey, Dex. Thanks for being here, bud. Oh, God, look at that. Okay, I guess we're talking about the mimic here. Oh, shit. Okay, that got me a little bit.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has two potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization and lure other humans more effectively.
Hey, Dex, if you do a shout-out, let everybody know we're doing Vita Carnis tonight.
An overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, Nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
All right, we're going to learn how
1.
to take one of these out.
Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2. If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time. Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6.
Okay.
In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area, and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all
Okay, so
costs.
pretty much what I gathered there is there's really nothing you can do against a mimic. And, yeah. Well, you know, that sucks. All right, let's keep
Next
going.
up, the Harvester.
All right, Harvester. Again, you see that? Let's go back here.
Next up,
Every time
the
this thing
Harvester.
transitions, there's, see it? There's a little image there. I have to break this thing down frame by frame. Oh, that poor girl's being eaten. Oh, that's gross. Okay. All right, that was definitely different. I like the use of the real live effects. His artwork, he was able to blend his artwork into those pictures. That was amazing. It really brings this series to life. I'm not going to lie, when I heard that knock, I have a window right here behind me, and I thought it was somebody beating on my window. That's why I was jumping. I thought I was going to have to go grab my my sidearm and go have a chat with somebody because it's, 12:29 at night. But yeah, that kind of really scared the crap out of me there. But I really like his use of his artwork, special effects. The intensity of it's pretty, realistic, especially when we did that cut scene to the girl running. At least it sounded like a girl. And they were hiding in the closet, and you see the mimic jump them. That was pretty cool. Now, I'm kind of curious why it's telling us don't fight back, right? If it's flesh, you would think it would just be able to be taken out, beat that bastard down with a baseball bat. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. Great job at world building here, too.
The Harvester.
The Harvester.
The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. The Harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node, that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them. that pump two types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting.
Alright, interesting.
Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse.
Okay, so this part right here reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me, Seymour.
The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines.
I'm going to be doing
The
an
nutrients
actual
are then
video
converted
too
into usable
of
energy.
it for people to watch it tomorrow.
The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals. A strange behavior the harvester displays is its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere.
Appreciate everybody who is joining us tonight, though.
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that
Please
there
go
is
to the
no
video
cure,
and leave a comment
and
if you guys
fatality is
would.
100%
Give me a thumbs up.
positive.
Oh, see it? Another one.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first
I don't know if
place.
y'all saw that.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any encountering percent positive.
Right there, see
Being
it?
that there is no cure, and fatality, there will be no forests. If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
Ah, I missed it. It's all right. We won't chase that down. We'll chase it down in the edited version.
A harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you.
I know, right?
Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft,
I'm curious where
like
this
coats,
whole overall arching
backpacks,
theory of the
or
story is
full water
going.
bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious. or you will be a harvester's next meal. Next up is the host.
All right. Oh, see, there was another one. Yeah, we're gonna track all those down. I promise you that we're gonna track those down. Host of influence. This ought to be interesting.
The host of influence.
Imperium Carnis.
The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics.
Right, and then run into a
The
mimic.
lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host
Is
in
it me, or
place.
does it seem like every one of these videos are telling you don't hurt the carnies? That right there is telling me something suspicious. Because if I know the nature of humanity, we have a bunch of fucking people walking around with no skin. First thing we're going to do is shoot first, ask questions later. It don't matter how many bullets it takes. We'll bring them down. That's what we do. Just saying. But this video is like, no, don't attack them. Be nice to them. Just leave the area. Anybody else find that suspicious? I find that highly suspicious.
Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within the host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily,
Okay, that was a
the host is
biohazard. I
rare,
saw that. That was
only
a
found in
biohazard
North
flash.
America. Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination.
Sounds like me every
Then
morning.
more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services. After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs.
Okay.
The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps.
For the mimics.
However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal. If the host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location. Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to
Must have been a
currently know
pretty
is that the
graphic
host
stick
is
figure there.
extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Next, the monoliths.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break here. I will be right back. Just give me 1 sec, everybody. fill up my sweet tea. Needed my sweet tea. Gotta love it. All right. Here we go. That host of influence, come kneel before me, let me gut you so the mimics can eat the rest. That's kind of what I got out of that. Anybody else? Same warning. Okay. We're going to get to
The
story.
monoliths.
All right, here we go.
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of... There are only 7 monoliths.
Hold on,
all of
hold
them
on.
Located in a... Only showing up
Look at
in
this.
June of
Look up there in
1972,
Newfoundland.
in the area of... Located in a...
See it up there? All right, we'll
There
stop
are only
doing that.
7
That's annoying.
monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds...
Yay, 3 watching.
The monolith is
Thank
a
you all for being
Titanic-sized
here.
being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2
wow.
trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso.
Oh, cool.
The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck.
It's all good. I hope
fusing
they
into
are.
a solid
If you
mass
are,
of hardened flesh
I
in
hope
the
you guys
shape
are
of an
enjoying it.
upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep
not
into the
everybody's
earth
into
and
this,
extend
so.
horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in...
Okay.
During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough to top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity.
Okay,
Finally,
interesting.
long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature. Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed.
Okay, so they blew it up with some
Eventually,
rockets.
the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings.
Did you see that, guys? Look, right here. When we start talking about the last one.
On this list is the last creature on this list is...
I think I might be able to catch this. Yeah, it looked like 3 hooded figures with lit eyes.
The last
Try one more
creature
time.
on this list is...
Ah, missed it, but y'all saw that, right?
marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery.
So we're
of the
not going to
lives
get
of these
anything on the
living
last
meat
one, huh? The
creatures.
Singularity, I think it's called. Is what I kind of gathered there. All right. I think that's season 1. Now we're going to move into season 2. Living Reach documentary full footage. Black Eyed Peas.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big, and small, have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways.
Here we go.
This could be the greatest discovery of the age.
Baby. Let this feeling in.
Have any information of the whereabouts of
Hold on.
information of
Generally,
the whereabouts of
let's just take a look at this. Vincent Bari, wanted by SCIS, okay, or CSIS, CISIS, interprovincial travel, production. He's wanted for interprovincial travel and production of sensitive materials. 1988 was when the photograph was taken. All right. If you have any information concerning this person, please contact your local CSIS office. Telephone numbers and addresses of all CIS offices are listed on the back. All right. That's probably going to be important.
We may
be making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity. Today's dish will be a cheesy crawl penne.
Cheesy crawl penne? Oh, the crawl's that vine, that fleshy vine that's okay. People are eating it now? That's kind of gross.
To start off, these will be the ingredients you will need. 3 cups of penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh crawl. Try to get a variety of sizes when you buy yours, or when you harvest them yourself.
That's so gross.
1 cup of cheese. Half a cup of green onion. 1 teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of Cajun spice. 2 tablespoons of parsley. 1 tablespoon of dill. 1 tablespoon of garlic. A pinch of pepper. And finally, the most crucial ingredient, Nutrier Company's newly released Flavor Enhancer. To bring out the richness of flavors within each and every meal.
Oh, interesting.
First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water.
Why's this guy got rubber? It looks like he's in a hazmat suit. He's just cooking dinner. I used to play Titanfall long time ago.
To help the pot come to a boil faster and
Paperclip, welcome, buddy.
Pasta. Then, set aside to boil. Grab your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin to cut the meat into a rough mince.
Oh, nice. Nice, Dex. Does that crawl look gross or what? Mmm, tasty. But again, I want to... Who wears a hazmat suit to cut up food?
Crawl is soft on the outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness.
Nah, he's just the only one in here, Paper.
Then, gather the meat and set aside. Mince the green onion into rough segments.
Okay. That crawl looked pretty gross.
Take this
I gotta give this
mince
guy
and set
props
aside
though, man.
as
He did a
well.
good job on this series.
Next, grab your skillet and preheat with some oil. Take your minced crawl and spread it evenly across the skillet. Stir occasionally until crisp and brown. As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
Alright, so we're cooking the noodles, okay.
Cook until soft.
There's gotta be a reason for this little cooking show.
At this time, your crawl will be brown and crisp.
Alright.
Add your minced green onion and then the spices. Mix well. Once your pasta is finished cooking, strain it.
I know, right? This is what would happen if we decided to eat the flesh that hates.
Lay your cooked penne evenly into your dish. Then add the crawl topping.
So apparently people are starting to eat the crawl. And it looked really disgusting.
Sprinkle a generous amount of cheese along the still warm crawl for it to melt.
Okay.
At this point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60 degrees Celsius, or else the enhancer will not work.
So you gotta cool it down or the enhancer doesn't work, alright. Well, he's putting, I guess.
And now, you may serve and enjoy.
Yeah, that doesn't look that good. Alright, what we got going on here? Something's changing. Alright. Look in the background, you guys see it? Who are they? Looks like a circle with the pyramid. That was the same thing on the flavor enhancer. Let's see. So I can find it here. Yeah, that logo was on the flavor. All right. Oh, again, we just missed it. There was another little one second flash of something. On the edited version, I'll pick all these out. But all right.
Many people get pets for companionship.
Pet guide to owning a trimming.
They form bonds
all right.
and grow relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family. Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more interesting. Then, you may want to get yourself a trimming.
Oh.
These lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion for many people in the recent months.
Does not look like a
Although,
loving
most
companion.
people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming.
All right,
Taking
that
care of
looks-
a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do require maintenance. The first thing to keep in mind when keeping a trimming is the temperature of your home. While trimmings
would
are
anybody want
resilient
that
to
as a
both
pet?
high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside. Make sure there is enough for your trimming to cover itself. And now, you have a comfy bed for your buddy.
Okay.
Next, you want to give your trimming the best diet possible.
Yeah, right.
Trimmings are not picky eaters, and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy and strong, a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
Oh, I'd shoot it. I'd fucking shoot it.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights, try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon. This helps them be active during these times instead.
That was the most horrible
Another
noise.
thing to consider if you want a pet trimming is where they will be living. Your
No.
home should have enough
No.
space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. If not, be sure to take your trimmings on regular walks. This gives your trimming the exercise they need, as well as allowing them to meet other trimmings. Trimmings are a social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild.
Would you want a trimming?
When it comes to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war. But here are other ways to keep your trimming entertained. Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices.
Interesting.
After a long day, your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean. And lastly, as said before, trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection. They love receiving pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well. Simply talking to them is plenty enough.
Nope.
You can talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather.
Nope.
Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved.
I'm gonna give this guy mad props
With all
though.
of
He
these in
did
mind,
a really good
you are
job
now
on this
well
series.
equipped to have a trimming become a part of the family. Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
All right. Looks like that's it for this one. Oh, we had the little flash. Again, like in the edited version, I'll go through and I'll be able to figure out what these are. Yeah, another thing, if you guys get an opportunity, go see this guy's channel. I put it out in the description. Take a look, give him a link, give him a like and a follow. What's going on here? All right. Archive footage. Meat snake specimen. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or viewing of the following footage is strictly prohibited. Infringement of these instructions leads to severe penalties enforced by federal law. Discard this
In the
video
year of
immediately.
1945, with the war finally ended, the cleanup process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery. Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the mass was an opening with several skulls surrounding it. Closer inspection of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path. There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions. Its behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead. The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience. It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample. Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen versus a normal meat snake's membrane. Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and even high doses of radiation. It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature. Another strange phenomenon is the smell off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh. But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs. The meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be...
What's going on? All right, so on this one we had apparently a large meat snake that was lodged into the end of a tunnel, or lodged into a tunnel that was so big it couldn't move out, which is really interesting. All right. I guess we are on the next one. Let's do it. Mimic defense instructional tape. All right, here we go. Nothing more about the meat snake? Carnis species log 014. Abnormality documentation. Harvester. Notable population density shifted discovered between the dates of 1989 and October of 1989. Maps displayed. Oh, hold on. Maps displayed charted the population of harvesters' locations on a monthly basis. It looks like they're all over Canada. We ain't got nothing to worry about down here in the good old USA. You Canadians are screwed. Okay. Sounds like people hiking through the woods. Well, that looked like a little bit of a crawl there. Or harvester, maybe? August 1st. Okay, they all seem to be heading to an island that doesn't exist in Canada. crawl or is that the harvester? Sounds like something. Oh no. It's like blood in the water. Harvester got someone. Sorry, I know it's getting a little loud there, guys. Sorry. Okay, it looks like the harvester got someone. That was the screaming and the blood in the skull probably was. Good night, Dex. Thanks for being here with me. September 1st, okay. Yep, they're all moving to Canada. They all seem to be centering on that island, though. Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible. Looks like I got one of her kids. Yep. I think they're symbolizing that the mom and the kid, the son, got eaten, or the daughter. Another flashpoint, okay. All right. Flavor enhancer commercial. They're back to that flavor enhancer again.
Flavor. The most crucial component to enjoying a good meal. The way food tastes is what makes eating so pleasurable. But what if you could savor every little detail you could possibly want? That is why we, at Nutrier Co., have made it so that you may enjoy every single bite you take. With our product, the Flavor Enhancer, you can extract every last morsel of taste from your plate. With overwhelming demand for this essential product even since our start earlier this year, we have delivered what you wanted. Now introducing the Flavor Enhancer Deluxe. Now packaged in a larger size and modified recipe, there is now even more savory goodness to go around. Since our debut in mid-1990, the Flavor Enhancer has shown to be a major hit, with our product flying off the shelves. The Flavor Enhancer Deluxe will allow us to satisfy your growing, tasting needs. Now allowing you to add even more enhancer to your dinner, making your food even better to enjoy.
Okay.
The Flavor Enhancer Deluxe, available on shelves now. Nutrier Co., experience true savor.
Okay, what's going on here?
These larger serving sizes make dining even more pleasant, now allowing more generous amounts of enhancer at a time. Flavor Enhancer Deluxe, now available in stores near you.
Enhancer below 60 degrees Celsius for optimal
Nutrier
flavor.
Co. Experience true savor.
Make your taste buds pop with the new deluxe size. Make tasting even more awesome.
Spoil your kids with this essential part of every meal. New Trier fruit flavor.
Flavor Enhancer Deluxe. Required for all meals, no matter how small it seems, just a little more.
Okay, that's
It
creepy.
is crucial to everyday eating.
You need the flavor enhancer to enjoy eating.
Sounds like some kind of cult. Remember the boys? Would you like a fresca? Would you like some nature enhancer? Or flavor enhancer? Alright, this shit's creepy. I know. Okay, alright. Something's up with that flavor enhancer. That made that we did the video of the crawl. They said put a generous topping of that on there. There's another flash there. All right, uncovered documents. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Experience the true savior? What? All right. Got some ants running around. All right. New flavor enhancer deluxe, newly rebranded product from New Tire Company is an instant hit with record sales. Gotta have something to eat that crawl. Files confiscated or not released to public. New Tire scandal is facing charges after numerous reports of sickness after consumption of their product. The flavor enhancers only statements of the flavor enhancer. Only statements made from the company so far are dismissing any issues that their product is safe to consume. Okay. Experience the true savior. What the hell? Okay. We saw him earlier. Hold on. We saw him in a flash earlier. Okay, there's a circle and pyramid again. Was it some Illuminati shit going on? Interesting. CAS conflicts with private organization of containment and research consult association society, or CARSAS, has been experiencing a backlash from the government agencies about cooperation and violation of the newly introduced policies of, and it can't. New log. Message. The CARSAS. Carcass. Carcass. Got it. Carcass. living flesh, carcass, it's a play on it, I get it. That's pretty
In
cool.
the distant horizon, the group of monoliths stand vacant. Although closed off to outsiders, their stance can be observed well outside the perimeter. It is known to have hundreds of thousands of fibers that weave themselves deep underground, all connected in a grand mycelial network.
You might be confused as to why you received this package. This was left to you because we share a common goal. I'm aware that you studied Carnis and researched their properties. I'm also aware that you have received backlash for doing so. Something isn't as it seems, and you know this too.
Largest meat steak discovered during a sweep of the okay, I think we already. Unbelievable cult activity, okay.
Unexplained phenomena, countless casualties, missing persons, fatalities, and yet no proper action, and a notable silence about these affairs.
To handle authorities refuse to handle the harvesters, okay.
People are afraid and confused. Why is nothing being done?
Hold on, what's this?
People are afraid and confused. Why is nothing
Teenagers arrested for
being done?
releasing documentary. A group of students released a nature documentary about the Carnis species, which was seized by authorities. The group, called the National Living Meat Research, or NLMR, have included various amounts of sensitive material and defamation. Officials have arrested some of the suspects, while others outside the sources are still at large. The students claimed that they were simply working on the project and didn't know about the extra material.
Because they don't want us to know. We've been kept in the dark while those above us slither amidst the blind. They have slowly been numbing our minds to their schemes, but they've made one crucial error. Trails, crumbs, traces of information. I've collected these pieces and found their loose ends. This is why I've left this message to you. The document's included with this tape is all the information that I have gathered. Every continuity, every cover-up, every crumb that I can find, they all lead here. Something has been going on these few years. Something big. Something they don't want us to know about. Here's where you come in. I don't have the power to change things, but you do. Alongside the documents are plans. Plans for a meeting, one of great importance. You have the resources. With this information I've provided to you, I hope you can put a stop to all the scandals. I just hope it isn't too late.
Okay, that was interesting. Looked like a, clue board.
The monoliths are truly an astonishing sight to behold.
Okay. On to the Darian, man, you've done an amazing job on this series. I'm hooked. Facility 0. Let's do it. Carcass.
Mission brief. Three ground teams are tasked with infiltrating a previously abandoned mall titled Facility 0, which is located in the restricted zone based on our info. The mission will take place in 3 stages: infiltration, encirclement, and ambush. Primary objective is to capture the facility and seize the items of interest for extraction. Numerous armed guards are located within the facility. Avoid detection and keep up your guard.
Several spheres composed of unidentifiable material have been located in various locations on multiple continents. Each found thus far have been located via strange signatures being emitted by the orbs being caught on various devices. As of the time this document is written, 4 singularities have been acquired. 3 more signatures have been located and are currently being investigated. Descriptions referred to on document 001.1. Instructions are currently as follow. Remain on standby until the singularities have been obtained. Once all entities have been apprehended and contained at Facility 0, begin Stage 2 of the program. Refer to document 009, Nature. Neuter? Okay, for basic briefing.
Alpha team, in position.
Beta team, in position.
Gamma team, in position.
Copy. Beginning phase 1.
Eyes on the point. Clearing pathway now.
Alright, that's a harvester.
Pathway cleared. Give it the green light.
Alright, I thought they said we couldn't shoot these things, or was that just the
Copy.
mimics?
Green light is a go. Begin phase 2 in advance.
Alpha team, copy. Beginning advance. All right, we're heading out. Move, move, move!
That was gross, but that was a good depiction of a harvester, huh?
Lights off. Come on. Move.
Okay. There's the monolith. Don't get close to it.
Keep your distance. Single file. Halt! In position, awaiting green light.
Okay. Alright. It looks like we're looking through a security cam here. It sounded like somebody just died.
Eyes are secure. Turning blind. Lights green.
Warehouse
Copy.
hall.
Green light is a go. Begin phase 2 in advance.
for something to jump out at me here. Something to pop out here. Oh, they smoked those guards.
Alpha team in position. We are experiencing mechanical interference. Should we resume? Copy. Phase 3 is still a go. Preparing for breach.
Breach in 3, 2, 1. Breach.
Get down! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! I said get down! Get down! Put down your weapon! Get down! Put down your weapon! Put your hands up! Get down! I said get down!
Sorry, I can't help. This gets loud. All right, so it looks like they were breaching into Site 0. Did it not look to everybody else like there was a bunch of people sitting there holding their hands, worshiping the circle and the triangle thing and like a circle there? Are they cultists? I mean, I remember the reference to cultists on the board. So, I mean, are there cultists worshiping these things? It wouldn't surprise me in this day and age, but. All right, that looks like that's the end of the operation. What's going on now? Vita Carnis, Season 1 finale. Oh, that must have been that one. All right. Darian, man, amazing job on this. All right, we got more. Oh wow, guys, that was pretty intense.
Hello, gorgeous people. What is going?
That was definitely something different. Applaud. Well done, man. Oh my God. So what I'm gathering is there's something that's going on, right? So the first part of this, we got the breakdown of the Carnies, right? We got the crawl, the crawl, the trimmings, the mimics, the harvesters, and what was the other one? What was it? So first phase, living meat, research, okay. Crawls, what is this one? Living meat, research, documentary, this one right here. Host of influence. And then of course we got the monoliths, right? And then we got one, we saw one, but we didn't see one. I'm guessing it's the singularity. I think I already mentioned that. I remember seeing something about it when I was doing a little bit of research for this video. I'm wondering if the host of influence and that flavor preserver or that flavor enhancer has something going on here. I'm going to have to really dig deep into this, but I think I will, and I'll produce a explanation video on it. And man, though, this was pretty good. You got me on one spot. When the knocking right before I think it was the mimic, where it was like boom, boom, boom in my headphones, man. It sounded like somebody's banging at my window, man. That got my heart running a little bit there. So anyway, if you guys like what we're doing here, please give me some suggestions and let me know what you'd like to see next. I believe Wednesday we will be doing another Midnight Madness, and I'm going to try to produce an explanation video on this one for tomorrow night. But if you like the new format and the way things are changing on the channel, give me some feedback, let me know. And other than that, the usuals, man. Please give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share the video around, and clip it. Do whatever you want with it. Channel's not monetized, so that's not bad. But we're trying to push it way there. Again, I'm Crazy Ken, and thanks for being with me tonight. And I hope to see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good night and peace.